everything for the wrong answer.
All right, we're live. We're live at Odie's.
Always
Edgewood.
count on him for great customer service.
That's Jim Dunaway. This is Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown, the owner of Odie's Tavern is Will Haver.
That would catch you?
Proprietor.
Yeah. He says it every Wednesday night.
He does. That's why I was going to copy Lance, but clearly I can't do it.
This is, okay, so we got to get to this just right off the bat. We're here because of the Masters, your beautiful new location at Edgewood. Same floor plan, just a little bit bigger, a little more modern. And you guys, every year for Masters, you roll out not only the beautiful sod, but also the azaleas. You got a putting green out there. If you've never experienced, it is a one-of-a-kind thing. And most things are plagiarized. We steal a lot, and it doesn't matter whatever the industry is. Did you actually create this, or is this something that you stumbled across from somebody else?
No, we actually created it. So it was an idea that I had for many years and was really scared to tell anybody about it. And I told Dayton about it riding in the car one time. I said, hey, I've got this idea, but I don't know how we're going to pull it off. And then there was a guy that was going to Auburn for horticulture school, Adam Millhouse, that when we opened Taco Mama Auburn there, he asked, hey, can we do our class project for some planters outside of the restaurant? That's where I met him. And then when he graduated and moved to Birmingham,
I got another project for you.
Yeah, well, he said, hey, Mr. Haver, I've opened up, my landscape company. If I can ever do anything for you, just give me a shout. So I called him immediately and I said, hey, come to my office. I have an idea, but you may freak out and you may not want to do it. So we pitched the idea to Adam, and I said, so is this something you can get behind? He said, what's weird is I interned at Augusta, and I know exactly how to pull this off.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow.
And so we went at it. And that first year, it was me and Adam and Dayton and Adam's dad lay inside at 4:30 in the morning. And we didn't tell anybody about it because we didn't know if it would work. We didn't know if the sod would lay down properly and all that. So that's kind of where that started.
And the crazy thing is it looks so good. It's like you almost want to keep it throughout the spring.
No doubt.
But I would assume the durability would just be impossible.
We're probably going to have, great crowds the next 3 days. And so you're right. It wears down, but, no, it looks fabulous. And we've had the same thoughts like, man, we should keep this all the time. And then, it's the wear and tear gets.
Or have you asked Mr. Millhouse, can you get my yard to look like this?
If my yard looked like that, Will, I would be the talk of the neighborhood.
Well, Millhouse Howell Landscaping, they are pros, man, and they're great guys. And we've been working with them for a long time. But, on Saturday in Crestline, we'll start at 4:30 in the morning and just lay sod and pull in these azaleas and magnolias. So it's a labor of love, but people really enjoy it.
Got a putting green here.
Yeah.
That you could put just outside the Edgewood location here at Odie's while you're watching the Masters out on the patio.
I had my wedge. I was doing the short game.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was just a putting green. I thought it was one of the practice greens.
Jim,
so I was hitting over those tables from the sidewalk.
Let's go to Blakely's and make it a 3-par.
We were concerned about Brown's putting, and so we wanted to encourage him to practice.
Yeah.
We felt like your chipping and putting is really good.
That's where as long as we're not on a tee box, I'm fine.
You're fine.
It's the tee box where
you've got the short game.
Yeah. That's a typical old man game is what that is.
You're doing better than I am. I don't have either side. So,
I'm gonna make up the strokes around the greens. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to Tiger Woods this thing.
Yeah.
How about our boy Tiger hanging in there so far?
I'm gonna drink tequila with Lance and call it a day.
Hey, so the food, we talk about it every day on the show. I mean, Rodney Davis, he's not only he's family to you.
Yep.
A guy 3+ decades, but unfortunately, I've never been to Augusta. When you get big enough, maybe you'll take me out there one day. But everybody raves, and Brown's been out there for the food, the egg salad, the pimento cheese. Your pimento cheese is fantastic. Do y'all sell more this weekend because of this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you said it, Rodney's been doing this 33 years. Odie's is celebrating 35 years this year, and, 15 years of Odie's Fest. But Rodney's been making that pimento cheese for 33 years. So, yeah, the pimento cheese BLTs definitely kick up a notch around Masters time.
They should. They should. It is. I don't know if it's just that you're there eating it or if the food is that good, but it is cheap. I do know that.
Yeah.
So I mean, just so good food, good cheap food, and you're at Augusta eating.
Well, he's
it.
not talking about your food.
No,
Right. No. Yeah.
No, I would call Will's inexpensive, not cheap.
Yeah.
There's a difference between cheap and inexpensive.
And it's always good
cost
here.
effective.
Yeah,
Always
cost
good
effective.
here.
No, Will's food is terrific. Will knows I love the Diablo. I've had that a million times.
It's LT's favorite.
I know.
That's
I think
right.
LT introduced it to
Yeah.
me actually.
Yeah.
What?
It's a fork and knife thing for me, though.
Yeah, you got to go fork and knife on the Diablo. If you don't know that, Dunaway's got a corn dog.
Well, that's my girl's go-to, Maddie. She has that one almost every Wednesday night. It's a damn good corn dog. Because here's the thing, it's just a little burnt purposely, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's
Who
the way
doesn't like it crunchy?
It's got to be that way because if it's not burnt at all, that batter is too. What am I calling it? Too.
Doughy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great word for it.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, I noticed, one trivia night that Maddie was eating the corn dog, which let me know, I already knew she was high level, but then I'm like,
Yeah.
her and Lee Haver would get along
Yeah.
because Lee Haver, the reason the corn dog got on the menu is because
Your
of Lee
wife?
Haver. Being from Dothan, she loves the corn dog. She's like, well, I would have the best corn dogs at Dothan, Alabama. And I said, so we found the state fair corn dog, and here we go. And
You got it. And now, what do I always push for years?
tater tots, man. And it's not only you, but I've
Are
got
they just
other,
a pain in the ass?
here's the deal. Yes.
Okay.
So for us, they are because
Fair
you know,
enough.
it's not going to change our world really. You and Brandon Plowden, are always in my ear, and I always have to go have a real quick meeting with the board, and then we come back with a really quick answer of like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Let's
That's a
just
no
stick-
again, Lance.
Stick with the
Thank you for
crinkle fries.
Very, very similar how we handle complaints on Wednesday night trivia. It's like, let's
Here-
huddle up.
here's the
The answer is no.
But here's the only thing I would ask. You've got two different types of slaw. I like that pink spicy
The
slaw.
zesty slaw.
So how
yeah.
do you have two different types of slaw, but you've only got one potato? I think it's a fair question.
It's a fair question. And the only answer I can tell you, I like the southern slaw because it's got the Parmesan cheese. I love the
both are
zesty
great.
slaw, but
Yeah.
it really was self-serving, and I I don't dig tater tots that much.
Okay.
So
Yeah, well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So if you
Oh,
want
there you
tater
go.
tots, get your own damn
That's
restaurant.
exactly right.
It works
You
really
can
well.
open Lance's anywhere.
Yeah.
Go to Publix and get that Orada,
Yeah.
tater tot, and invite me over to your house.
Can you've never told this story before, and we're hanging out with Will Haver, the proprietor of both beautiful
Good job.
Odeys, the newest location we're at right here at Edgewood, enjoying the first round of the Masters, one in Crestline, the OG, we'll call it Crestline Village,
And Taco Mama, too.
and all the Taco
All
Mama,
the Taco Mama.
enterprise.
How
that
many
is
we have
Taco
now,
Mama.
Will?
Oh no,
A
Is
ton.
it 24?
few. Yeah.
Yeah. All I want to know is down here, is this go on this end? Is this where our pass go to get to Boardwalk and all of the Park Place where you got Odie's and then you got Taco Mama down in the corner? It's like a Monopoly game for you down here.
No, but I did.
I love this.
Like a lot of people think that you're just one of these guys that maybe came into some money and you bought a restaurant.
Yeah.
You were I mean, people believe that though. They think we just roll on here, and I guess we kind of do at times, just roll in here and talk sports. We're doing that right now.
Yeah.
But we all have stories about how we did internships, and it wasn't overnight. It was when you start, fresh out of high school into college and just doing a lot of different things. You were a cook, you were a server, you did back of the house, you washed dishes. You learned every single aspect of the restaurant industry, and then you decided to go in and purchase what was a really cool establishment in Odie's, and you took it to another level. But can you just give us a little bit of the background of you eyeballing Odie's first and deciding to pull the trigger on that first location and it becoming what it is now?
Well, you're right. I mean, I hate to admit this, but I've been working in this industry for 29 years now, and I have done it all, and I've loved every minute of it. I love to work in restaurants, and it is 100% my joy and passion. And but I had actually started a restaurant and had failed, and so I didn't know that I would have another go at the restaurant business. And Odie's was in the community I grew up in, and so I was familiar with it. And it came up for sale, and really just was my opportunity to get in there and learn everything about it, and just be humble and rebuild myself. And
Did
really,
failure help you?
100%, because it made me realize that I didn't know as much as I thought I did at 26 years old. When you're in your 20s, you think you're about to go conquer the world.
Yep.
And so I was humbled, which I really took that as the next approach.
Sorry.
I was going to make sure that I went with, the approach of success is not given.
Yeah.
I've got to work every position and learn it again. And it's been, I guess, 17 years now since that day. And then Taco Mama, of course, came in 2011.
I know you never watch our show, but Hugh,
That's not true.
His
I love
wife
y'all's
does
show.
at least.
I know
What are
Lee
you
loves
talking
us. Hugh Freeze we were down at Auburn last Tuesday, and Hugh Freeze was on with us, and he said, failure is a myth to me. And then he ran through all these games where they had this incredible, horrible luck finish. And he's like, I don't believe in failure. I believe it's a learning opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that you don't fail. It may not work like you wanted it to, but you learn from it and you're better next time.
The little shorter version was Nick Saban's "Don't waste a failure."
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't waste a failure. If it didn't work, you learn something from that that makes you better than the second time.
Hey, you're right on. You know, and that is well put. The way I look at it, I'm very simple, but shooters shoot.
Yep.
And you try to make every one. And when you miss a shot, you look at the mechanics where you went wrong, but you keep shooting. And, you know, the goal is to make more than you miss. But you got to be shooting, because if you're going to play ball, you got to put yourself out there. And so you're not going to win every time, but we learn every day. I still learn every day. I have a great crew that I work with that we really enjoy the challenges and the growth part of it, of getting better. So
you guys think I'm weird because I know random actors and athletes, but if you guys threw out, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Will, if you threw out like a concept, he probably knows around when it was founded, where it was founded, what the concept's about, who founded it.
Chili's.
Oh, Chili's was Austin, Texas, and I would say it's 1972, 73. Outback was I believe that was a Florida product, maybe Kentucky, but I believe
I think it was
Florida.
Tampa. I think it was Tampa.
Yeah. It was Tampa. Yep. And I'm not sure Outback, the founding time. I do know, you know, its competitor Longhorn was 1982 out of Atlanta, outside skirts of Atlanta, founded by a guy named George.
But I don't want to tell too much about you.
Oh, George.
George,
Longhorns.
because I don't know how. Because you're
it sounds better than the change. Actually,
You're-
let's go down to George.
you're
Longhorns.
a communal person, but you're also a private person.
Very.
But you've reached out to a lot of these successful people that have had these brands, and you know, and they're nice enough, because you're one of these guys that'll pay it forward. Like one day when somebody reaches out to you and they're trying to start their concept, you're going to tell them what made you successful, the hiccups, the pitfalls, all that kind of stuff. But you've reached out to a lot of these guys that have been ultra successful, and they've been pretty accessible.
No, they have. And to your point, I mean, I did 3 today of restaurateurs that started my morning with a phone call of somebody that's got one shop, it's about to open a second shop. Right before I came here was another one, and then another one this morning. So I'm constantly in contact with young restaurateurs that, you know, ask a lot of great questions, and I'm happy, you know, if I can prevent them from, you know, making a misstep that they don't need to, then I certainly want to do that. But I always tell them, I'm like, listen, I can give you knowledge, but you're going to touch the stove and it's going to be hot. I just want you, then you'll have wisdom. And I just want to go, Will told me, don't touch the stove. But you got to touch the stove. There's no other way for you to learn. I mean, you got to do it yourself.
We've talked about doing a fast service German restaurant on 280. Yeah. Would you think that'd be a good idea for us?
We call it Snitz and Go.
I want to invest.
Okay. We'll talk to you about that.
Looking at the brain trust up here.
Yeah, I know. How could you not?
Concept,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in.
Okay, but in all seriousness, now when we were leaving and starting this, this is going to shock you because I worry about everything. I was really nervous.
Yeah.
And LT told me one time that he thought it was a good idea, that you said that we could do it. And that calmed me so much, because I knew you'd been a successful business person. And when you said that, I can see whether another person that's opening a restaurant would get it, but just another business, I was like, well, dang, you know, Will, I can't think of when Will messes up. If he thinks we can do it, we got a chance.
I mess up plenty. I promise you.
Well, I don't see those.
But I remember when Lance told me what y'all were thinking about doing. And it is funny because I even get comfort, like Lance was saying, from getting advice from the outside world. Because sometimes when you're so close and you're doing what you do every day, you know, people have a different view and are like, oh, you're going to be fine. You're going to be great at this. And you know, the people that, you know, it lands, it's genuine. You're like, it does give you tremendous confidence. But I remember when Lance was telling me about what y'all were going to do, and I absolutely was like, man, this is a no-brainer. Like, people love what y'all do. Go do it. And so it's a lot of fun spending other people's money.
You know, we all love to eat out, and here is a frustration as a consumer. And I was telling this story. I told it multiple times today with
Tater tots.
the passing of
We're
O.J.
gonna have those at the
Simpson.
German restaurant.
I was talking about kind of my timeline. Like most people remember where they were when OJ was in the 405 Chase. And I was actually, when it started, I was at Applebee's in Brookwood Mall. And I was watching, I forgot which game it was. You might remember, between the Knicks and the Rockets, the NBA Finals.
I think it was game 2, Lance, but I can't swear on that one.
But my point was
Game 1, was it game 3, you think? Okay.
This is obviously in the early to mid 90s, and I thought Applebee's had a really bad product. And I hate to use them as an example, but when these brands start to grow, and we've seen some other local brands, and people know what I'm talking about. We mentioned one a minute ago, and the quality just goes away. And I don't understand that. I know it's something that you're terrified of, that you never want to give up your babies because you're afraid somebody's going to do something to them.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, is it really just a cost cutting? We're all about margins now.
Yeah, I mean, the life of a brand can take many paths, and one.
You give me a good brand that is like sustained for 100 years? That that might be a long time.
In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger, family-owned company, has done it the right way for many, many years. Has been very patient about.
Are you skeptical they're moving east?
No, I think they are really good at what they do, but they, because of they don't want frozen hamburger meat. They stay close to where they can get the distribution down and keep the quality. That brand has done it right for years, and there are those brands where what most brands do is they get growth capital and then they grow too fast because everybody gets tired and they want to make sure that they cash in on what their future is, and it's hard to stay patient and not take that money and not take that opportunity. But when you grow that fast,
because you have other people that are pushing you to do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And
I mean, you got investors, you've got employees that are vested, you've got wives, you've got, siblings.
It's hard to be patient, but I think the more patient you are, the better the quality. But it's tough. It's tough.
I love seeing Businessman Will. He's one of the funniust, most laid-back guys we're around.
No, but Will's one of those guys, man, and I believe this. Y'all brought up Saban earlier. And Saban could go talk to a group of professionals. It doesn't matter what the profession is. They could be car salesmen. And I think Will could do the same and equate what he does. Like, successful people are successful.
They are, but
It's true.
Will's just so laid back and funny. I have a hard time seeing him.
Well, my team probably says different. They
he
don't. I don't think
he can
they
turn
know.
on a dime.
But Will likes me.
Yeah, well,
I feel sorry for me.
I do enjoy y'all. I do enjoy entertaining, and my spirit is I am a pretty laid back guy, but we're very serious about what we do, and our whole team knows that. So when we're at work mode, we're in work mode, and there's not much joking around there. But yeah, I think if you were to poll the crowd, a lot of them would not say I'm very laid back and very funny.
I've heard that. That's why I say it. Like, I think you are.
But I appreciate the compliment. I mean, that's
how I love being around you.
Yeah.
Then there's my most embarrassing moment the other night at the Zach Bryan concert, where I'm hanging out with one of our great listeners who let me buy a ticket at a reasonable price, but I'm socially awkward, so I'm trying to pound 4 strong vodkas before I go down and meet the people, and I bump into the Havers there, and I'm thinking they're like the old Jimmy D. They're there to see Zach Bryan. No, they're there being husband and wife, father and mother, picking up a kid, right? That's why
exactly
you were there.
Right. Yeah, our daughter Elizabeth wanted to go to that concert, and so we kind of let her and her friend out, and then Lee's like, "Hey, we got to go pick them up. Let's go check this thing out," and ran into Dunaway, and
double fisted.
And I was like, "Man, I have totally screwed this up. I should have been here with Dunaway drinking." So no, I didn't even know who the cat was, but man, he's really good. But then I'm like, I ran into you, and I was like, I'm sad I'm not out here playing around.
Sadly, neither one of my kids were at the concert. It was just me.
Yeah.
So I think the date off the fly, if I remember this correctly, it was all of 24 hours ago, is July 14th for Odie's Fest?
No, July 27th.
27th or
within 2
13
weeks.
days.
July
Yeah.
27th.
I have asked him if I can be part of the board bringing in this year's talent because I've got some great ideas.
Have you announced the talent yet?
No, he was, he was trying to pitch Jim Blossoms last night too.
No.
I like Jim Blossom.
Jim Blossoms came up, and I said they could be on the docket. I did
Okay.
Hoodoo Gurus a few weeks
That's right.
ago.
No, that's a great call.
I said NXS last night. If you could get,
And
I know Michael Hutchins in
Yeah.
there, but still, if you could get the Ferris brothers, and that'd be pretty awesome. I think.
When's the last time he had Better than Ezra?
Yeah.
New album.
Well, it's kind of like Blind Melon for me too. Like if we're
Oh,
going
that's the problem.
singers, yeah. I mean, so
Alice in Chains.
I don't. Well, I tell you
Alice
what.
in Chains might run off the
yeah, that
board of Mountain Brook
probably
board.
not a good fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one time I leaned on Will heavy was when Black Crows were at Oak Mountain. They had a night off, and then they were at Orion in Huntsville.
We tried on that.
And Will told me,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm going to give it a run, Brownie. I'm going to try to get them. And I was like, man, you keep me posted. I got front row seats if you do.
Well, Will, I'll tell another.
Did it get close?
We pitched Brothers Robinson.
Oh, that's
we were
right.
just
That's what you
trying
told me.
to
Yeah,
get- we were
just two
just trying to
brothers.
get the two brothers to do
Yeah.
an acoustic thing, and yes, we did get close. We had to pull like somewhere in my wife's family, they're cousins with Chris Robinson, and so that I had to pull those.
Oh, you had to
strings
play
get
the
close. Yeah.
family card?
But we couldn't make it happen on such short notice. But we did try.
Let me guess. One of the brothers wanted to do it, and one did not.
They're actually, from what I understand, getting along. Right?
Oh, wow.
That's
They
good. Wow.
blamed it on a former drummer. And I don't know if it was Steve Gorman.
That's who I would think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think they get along with
No.
Steve Gorman. Yeah.
And they said Steve Gorman was splitting them apart intentionally. And then once they realized that, they're like, why don't we let this guy ruin our
Right.
family?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do think they're back talking to one
Yeah,
another.
I
They
heard
just
the
had a
same
new
thing.
release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But restaurant business is one thing, but dealing and promote, because you've got a promotions company, because you have that in order to do that Odie's Fest. And I don't know how many people know this. And I mean, can I bring up the Willie story?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So he actually went after Willie Nelson, and they actually flew out. Was it Billy Bob's in Dallas you guys went to?
That's it.
Yeah, that's exactly
Fort Worth? Yeah.
And they went and talked to Willie's camp, and they were really close to bringing Willie Nelson in. But these guys, and I'm not just specifically saying Willie, rock stars are a pain in the ass, aren't they?
They can be. Now, some of them are great. I mean, I guess this is the 15th Odie's Fest. We've dealt with quite a bit, and most of them have been unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, they can be peculiar for sure. But the Willie thing that was like 10 years ago. And our pitch, we knew it was a long shot 10 years ago. And so Willie loves golf. And so our pitch was for him to play around with three buddies at at Augusta. Because he had never done that before.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we offered him a considerable amount of money. But
Did y'all
really-
have that in for Augusta?
Yeah, how did you get-
Well, through friends, connections.
So you were going to be able to actually deliver that.
for
Yeah.
Willie,
Yeah.
yes. And so that was our hook was, hey, you and three friends can go play around at Augusta.
And then you told him
we
you got to
almost
cut
had it.
your
Almost had it.
ponytail.
Almost had it, but
They have
we-
said at Augusta you got to cut your ponytail, but if you'll do that,
They did not
Did-
say that.
Did
but-
you? What went unsaid right there in Will's answer was when he said "for Willie," which was code for Brown. I may have a connection at
Right.
Augusta, but leave me
Right.
alone about it.
Yeah.
Don't start pressing.
I was not involved as far as I was not going to get to go to play at Augusta. I've never been to Augusta, but no, for Willie, they would. We had a shot.
Yeah.
Boy, I'd love to see Willie at Augusta.
Willie's only demand at that point was he wanted to take 2 bags of the grass clippings back with him.
Yeah, right.
Roll that stuff, baby.
Kind of like Bill Murray, right?
Yeah, that's right. California sent to me a
Play on this and smoke it later. Yeah.
Here's
play
how-
36 in the day.
Yeah.
Get stoned at night.
there was a not so big player I heard this week got $100,000 in NIL to come back next year. I mean, $100,000 to get a hell of a band, right?
Oh, heck yeah, man.
That's just what's amazing
Yeah.
about NIL today is like, some 19-year-olds get $100,000 and the concert you could put on for $100,000. It's pretty crazy.
So you're telling me Mark Sears could
Man, Mark Sears.
well, I'm
Yeah,
just
he's-
saying, but Mark Sears, who could get a ton of money next year, could have a great fraternity party right downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pick up the tab,
Well,
boys.
the thing about that is it's not, like getting Willie 10 years ago, I think we offered him like $85,000. But the thing is he had to have all his sound, his lighting. And so it's going to be like 30 to 40,000 in production. That's what gets you.
Tell them about
you
the
know.
tour bus setup for Willie.
I don't remember the tour bus setup for
I
Willie.
thought, there were,
Neither does
I,
Willie.
thought, I thought there were 2 tour buses.
Oh, no, we were offering to fly him, because we knew it was going to be a one-off. And
No,
so-
but I thought he had his own. And
Oh, yeah, and then he's got his family's tour bus. So
Yeah.
he had his, and then the family.
yeah, he's like, you guys, I got my own. You
We'll
guys
be in the
yeah.
same city,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Smoking and non-smoking.
I guess he earned that right.
I guess
I think
so.
his brother was the drummer, and his sister was playing piano or
You
something.
can't
at
do
the
Willie
time.
Nelson without Willie.
But
Like that's one of those Leonard Skinner. They were able to push forward however they did it. When Willie Nelson's gone, that tour over.
Yeah.
over.
But we've talked to Rockstar about this. This is the golden age. Well, maybe it's not the golden age, but there's been a revival in artist touring now because it's so hard for them to make money on their music, on streaming. So the tour is where the money is at now. It's not the releases.
What I hear, that I'm not in that business, but
That's not true.
What do you mean?
Will's dating
Oh,
Rockstar.
yeah.
well,
That's right.
yeah.
Well, you guys don't tour. You just play. Y'all got a residency, right?
Do you know why we don't?
Have y'all
tour?
played the Edgewood location yet?
Nobody has offered that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you could come here, right? It's the world tour.
That's the only. Yeah, the world tour for us is Crestline and Homewood.
Yeah.
Did Hogan's
look
on?
how good the T-shirts would look with the dates on the back.
You just do every other one.
single year.
Yeah, every other one.
Did Hogan's on 280 not say Razzmatazz take the night off?
They wouldn't even offer us. Yeah. I think it's because the drummer is terrible.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
But I've heard he takes up the whole stage, so he makes up
with his ego.
With his-
with his ego. Yeah.
Will's dating Rockstar. We Dunaway actually calls it Dayton's killing Will. No, what do you go? Rockstar's killing Will.
Yeah.
Rockstar's killing Will.
Yeah. Will's dating Rockstar, and man, we're getting better. I mean,
Good.
every week. So
I was just like the other night. I was down at Sellers' place at Avondale.
Yeah.
And this guy, what's his name again?
Teddy Swim.
Teddy Swims, who my wife really wanted to go see, and we go see him. That place is sold out.
Yeah.
And Sellers goes, "Are you a big Teddy Swims fan?" I said, "Mike, I gotta be honest with you, man. I never heard of the guy."
Yeah.
And Sellers goes, "I hadn't either when we booked him."
Yeah. Did you hear the Zach Bryan story?
Yeah, did you hear Zach
this is amazing.
Well, I thought I told you this, but I was drunk.
That's where you found out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little sideways, so I don't know if I told you,
You told
why
me.
you were there after you left.
But I mean, that's one of those. Like, if Zach Bryan would have come to you, hey, we want to play Odie's Fest, you'd be like, hell, I don't know who you are, dude.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Right?
I didn't have a clue. When I saw Dunaway.
Yeah,
I didn't know
he, was
where the hell
playing,
I
he was playing 2 nights at Legacy.
But-
You had no idea who he
But I'll
was.
tell you, I'm a fan now, so I will
Yeah.
be going drinking. I'm going
Yes.
to drink tequila. He's going to drink vodka to the next show.
Hey, I'll drink
Yeah.
the tequila with you. I'll go with that.
But yeah, can I tell you a quick story about
Please.
Sellers?
Yeah.
So,
We're talking about Michael Sellers, owner of Avondale Brewing. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
good
dude.
people.
Good dude. And good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So his wife Melinda. So Melinda and my wife are friends, and so Michael and I have been friends. And one year I was judging the chili cook-off at the Exceptional Foundation, and I was in this room, and a guy walked by, and he pointed to me, and goes, "Man, I love yoga at your bar," and I said, "We're doing yoga?"
And the hell we are.
And the guy goes, "You didn't even know?" I said, "I had no clue." And the guy walked off, and then he came back and he pointed at me like 10 minutes later. He goes, "I bet you were wondering what I was talking about. I thought you were Michael Sellers." So then I walk out of that room and I see this redheaded lady motioning for me to come over kind of angrily.
Was it Melinda?
And so I'm walking closer, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were my husband." And so I'm like, "Well, where is he?" And she's like, "Let's go find him." So then Michael and I start talking, and then a guy walks up and stops and just does his finger like this and walks off. And so Sellers and I mean, I guess my twin, I'm his twin, whatever, because it happens all the time. And last year for Odie's Fest, I saw him leaving and he said, "Haver, I just told everybody I was you. I have done so much damage to you. You're welcome." I was like,
Yeah.
"I know you did." I'm
Y'all,
sure.
y'all had similar glasses. You had the beard,
The hat.
the hat. Y'all don't look as much like each other anymore.
No,
But a
it's-
decade ago, I remember taking a picture up on stage at trivia, and he came and sat in with us, and you guys look like brothers. You
Right
did
on,
back then.
right on. I think I have aged and grayed where he is not. So
Well,
I think,
gingers don't really gray.
yeah, I don't know, man. I've given it a good run.
I did get confused early on, and when I first teamed up with LT on Will Haber and Michael Sellers,
Yeah.
I had to make a flow chart on who was which.
Flow chart.
Yeah.
I guess there's worse people to look like.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, handsome man, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Will. It's
Man,
always good talking
enjoyed
to you.
it.
Thank
No,
you for having us.
Appreciate you. Are you kidding me? Thanks for doing it.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Can't wait for the weekend, man.
Yeah, this weekend. So either location. If you're ever in Crestline,
Where I
same
was
thing going
earlier
on.
today.
Yeah, Dunaway visited that one thinking that's where the show was.
Got there about 3:15
Oh,
today.
yeah?
Yeah. Walked in, didn't see Brown. I was like,
You should have called me. We just drank tequila.
at that point, I was pretty happy you didn't have 5 locations in town because I'd probably this has been the last one I chose. I went there first and then came here, but And that's where Odie's Fest will be, right? Back
That's-
over at the
that's
original,
right.
the OG.
Yeah, we're happy just to be in Crestline and Edgewood, man. It's a neighborhood thing, all Odie's, so we're happy with where we are.
This
So-
is a play like last time we were here NCAA tournament. I told somebody this is one of those places where somebody from New York State can walk down this road. They would think this bar has been here 100 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what was here before? I've
Except-
said it before. I used to come here and play video games.
I don't remember it before it was the antique. What?
Yeah, before it was the antique show, it was Hud's Grocery.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Yeah.
But you could think this bar's been here 100 years and it's just been renovated. That's it's nice. I'm not saying it feels like it's 100 years old. It feels like it's brand new, but it looks like it's been here 100 years.
No, it's a dive type feel to it.
I love it.
man. Yeah, we do too. It's a lot of fun. So
Yep.
anyway, I appreciate
Thank you,
guys.
Will.
Good
man.
to see you,
It's
buddy.
a lot of
Man.
fun. All right.
That
see
is
y'all.
Will Haver, the owner of Odie's and Taco Mama. Always a nice host to us. EG is going to jump up here as we talk about the Masters. Couple of quick stories. Dan Hurley, according to reports, including Matt Jones of Kentucky Sports Radio, gave Kentucky his official no. So Kentucky, according to Matt, did make the ask, and Dan Hurley did make the no.
So there's a no, and then there's an official no. I mean,
I guess. Well, the no was technically in the post game, but he had not really been contacted yet.
right?
I don't know if you I know this, but Dan Hurley likes publicity.
He does, but
But one no's not enough. I want to let everybody know I've told Kentucky no
well,
twice.
I mean, I think technically, well, Matt Jones reported it, but he says now they've just got to decide, did they wait on Billy Donovan? Bulls in the play-in game potentially coming. I don't know if that's locked in yet.
Yeah, no. So yeah, they've got to wait on the playing game.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you guys feel. Billy Donovan, obviously a ton of success in Florida and winning back-to-back national championships. But it's been a while, and the college game has changed a lot. I think there's better options out there than Billy Donovan.
Mark Pope, Troy says in the chat, is reported candidate.
Ooh.
That's the BYU coach.
Hey,
Would
fun
be
style.
It's a
Really
fun
good.
style.
Really good, really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
coach. Yes, I watched for some reason right when it was time to lay on the couch and wind down from the day. It seemed like BYU was playing every night
lot
that
of
I
late
turned on the
games.
television.
Yeah.
I watched them more than I should have this year.
Because a fan?
Yeah, hey, they played a fun style of basketball. I can understand why you would want Mark Pope. Yeah, can I just throw out, and I know he's doing a heck of a job in the front office, but he's still only in his 40s. And we always said there would be a certain handful of jobs that maybe Brad Stevens would want to come back and coach. He gave up coaching with the Celtics. It's just so different in the college game. He's doing great as a front office personnel with the Boston Celtics. I saw him in a G League game watching, I think, the Maine Celtics playing their championship or their playoff series. The other night he was there scouting his G League guys, and he's sitting there by himself taking notes. And I just loved him when he was at Butler. I think he's 47. Am I wrong on that?
No, we had him on the show. I'll never forget. We were at Robert Trent Jones Oxmoor, and at that point he was 30 or 31, the head coach of Butler. And to me, he is a much better coach than Billy Donovan. Not to take anything away from Billy Donovan, but
Wow, that's a big statement.
Brad Stevens is elite. I don't think he would ever take it. He has got such a good situation in Boston right now with the best team in the NBA. I'm telling you, Chris Beard is the best out there. If you can get past the baggage, Ole Miss got past the baggage. Somebody else is going to get past the baggage. If you want to win championships, Chris Beard, you got.
Well, we keep going back to baggage, and I think it's worth saying on the day that OJ died that we can come back and transition coming, stay buckled up.
OJ had some baggage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
OJ had
He's
some
a little.
baggage.
Yeah.
Nobody ever got past that, but that was some serious baggage where there was a court case and there was evidence and a trial and a jury found him. They acquitted him, which is not guilty. They acquitted him.
That means
Right.
there's not enough evidence. So
They,
just
they
were
did
like,
not find
Right.
nobody.
Yeah.
They couldn't
Civil
get a,
But
case they
he was
got,
not
yeah.
found guilty,
Yeah.
so acquitted however
Lost
you want to put
money
it.
in the civil case.
Right.
But with Chris Beard, it never got to a trial, right?
No, she dropped the charges.
Yeah, the charges were dropped. So
yeah, she said she manufactured it. And I was on
there's
with
some baggage. It's not. I don't think
I
it's the
agree.
worst baggage in the world
Yeah.
as far as people that have been hired in the past
know,
or other things
'cause
that have been out
it
there.
came up today. I was on in Austin with Chip Brown and Zay, and they were talking about Nate Oates and how Texas fans were killing him last year because of the Brandon Miller situation. And I'm like, you got to let the judicial process play out. You know, it's not always perfect, but he had his due process. And how do you sit a kid when they're not involved at all? And it was proven later that he wasn't involved. And with that said, I brought up the other side of that with Chris Beard, and those guys are in Austin. And they were like, a lot of people believe, and look, I know this is a really delicate situation, that whole situation was blown out of proportion.
Yeah, but you tell me on treatment of women, Chris Beard, Rick Pitino. I mean, Rick Pitino's got a sketchy past as well, right?
He does.
Yeah,
mean,
never arrested for
She was
abuse or anything.
I think a willing participant, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the best look in the world by any stretch of the
Earmuffs,
imagination.
E.G. He just
I know,
banged some chick in a booth in an Italian restaurant. Right?
Now, who up? I think it was
we are speakers here too, right?
we are. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
I think a willing participant, Jim.
So earmuffs, everybody.
Well, it's a willing
Join a
participant, which feels,
Yeah, it's different.
I mean, it's a horrible look. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Horrible
yeah.
look.
And
Now-
then there were the alleged women of business.
Oh,
that's right,
as I do
yeah,
it for the
yeah,
kids here, that he was
yeah.
bringing into the dorm room.
That was
is right.
much worse. If
Yeah.
I'm one
No,
of those
I would agree
parents,
completely. Yeah, I agree completely.
So, I mean, not
Yeah.
to defend Chris Beard and anything that may or may not have happened, but I believe in America and I believe in the court system.
I do too, and
And-
I think it's a little more forgiving once you get, if you're a Kentucky fan, and really, that's all that matters at this point to me. I mean, we can sit there and take shots at it, but if you're a Kentucky, if you're Mitch Barnhart, hey, we tried this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Sooner or later, you got to get to Chris Beard because I'm with you. I don't think Bruce Pearl will take this job. They asked me about that in Austin today. I mean, how many great options are there? You want an elite coach, and there's only so many elite coaches.
You want automatic. I mean, you need insert twist, crank the engine, let's go play for a championship.
Yeah.
Chris Beard's that guy. I mean, Bruce Pearl would be that guy, but he ain't leaving Auburn. I think Nate Oates would be that guy, and he has said he's not leaving Alabama. So there are a handful of coaches that I believe they would go. They
Okay.
would go instantly.
Important question for you, EG,
Okay.
being in Augusta yesterday. So we saw the little guy that was on our show, Nemechek, today. I didn't realize how small that guy was.
A lot
Yeah,
of
he is
drivers are small.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Waltrip was a big driver, and he's like 6'2", 6'3", right?
So much so that he's the one that invented the hatch to get out of the top
Yeah.
of the
Oh,
ast in case of
really?
an emergency because he was so tall, hard for him in a
Did
crash
you
to get out the
stand next
window.
to dude today?
No.
Oh, EG's taller.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
easily taller.
But what I was going
I'm
to ask
taller
you
than that.
is, much like NASCAR, most of these golfers are short. Like Rory is apparently really, really small.
It is a short man's game. It's
Yes.
hard to play as a tall guy.
Did you see any bigger than
Yes.
what you thought?
Okay, Ludwig Aberg, he is very tall. The kid from Georgia Tech, he's like
He's
6'7".
6'7", yeah.
6'7".
That is extremely rare.
Can't think of his last name.
How long's
I
that
can't
back
either.
going to hold up?
Well, that's part of the problem. That's why the short guys have generally done
That's
better.
too much torque.
Yeah,
What, like Limerick, I think is his last name.
yeah, something like that.
Limerick.
Yeah.
Scotty's tall. He's what, 6'2", 6'3". Brooks is a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
John Rahm, he's a pretty big guy.
Dustin Johnson's
Justin
pretty big.
Johnson, yeah. Max Homa, he's tall. Justin Thomas, Jordan Speed,
I guess Tiger's
they're
pretty
pretty
big,
average.
right?
Tiger's like he's like 6 foot, right? Yeah. He's cut up, but he's only 6 foot tall, I think.
I would say Brian Harmon is probably one of the shorter players.
Yeah, Brian Harmon's pretty small. The last year's British Open champion.
Yeah.
What is that, like 5'7", 5'8"?
Yeah, he's probably
Not 5. I'm taller than him, I think.
What are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8".
Sneaky 5'8".
Sneaky
5'8".
5'8". So EG is fresh back from Augusta. Let's do a leaderboard
Look
update.
at Rory's shot there.
Is that going to go in, Lance?
It's not going to go in, but he's about 4 feet from the pin. He's 2 under right now, so he's dialed it back a little bit. I like it. He's one of my 4 guys.
Everybody's
is.
chasing Bryson DeChambeau, though. A dazzling 65
No.
today.
Great story on Bryson DeChambeau right there. Worked the tournament with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did hear it.
Did you hear it?
Let Maddie share
Is
it.
it? Is
Okay.
it?
It's,
Oh, it's
eh.
just it's what you would
You know how we
expect.
discussed Bryson DeChambeau when we first got here?
Yeah.
I feel like it fits.
Yeah.
with that
Okay.
narrative.
Yeah. EG
Hey.
and I got here when the coverage started. We watched it go. We watched a couple hours here
But
together.
there was a minute in time, like you see with a lot of these golfers, where DeChambeau was. I mean, he was just at the top of
Yeah.
his game. And what was it, about 3 years ago?
Well, yeah, and he changed his body, and that had some issues. Now he's changed it back. He went really big. Now he's shrunk back down, but he also joined Live, so you don't ever see him play.
So
anymore.
what is the key to him playing well today? Just one of those random, just great rounds?
He had it dialed in, EG. I mean, we
we
watched
said,
it.
We did. We said
Yeah.
he was locked in.
Yeah, he was locked in. Scotty Scheffler's 5 under right now. That's Lance's overall pick. I
Did
don't know
you
if
see
you're
his
invested.
shot out of the bunker?
He got 2 sneaky shots in, which is not
Yeah,
good for anyone else.
Well, you can't have Scheffler make those
No.
type of shots.
Yeah. Danny Willett, the pride of Jacksonville State University, a 4 under 68. One of Lance's greatest predictions, EG. He picked Danny Willett to win the Masters.
Really?
There, he won it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, Lance, you know he played at Jack State. He's like, yeah, I do.
Honestly, I don't think I've gotten a Masters champion since. I do have Scheffler like the world this week. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens there. I know what's going to happen. He's going to get the final pairing.
Meredith's gonna go to labor.
Yep, that's what's going to happen, and he is going to pull the plug because he knows moving forward he is going. God willing, he is going to to win 4 or 5 more majors,
Right.
so it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Just a little quick stat. For the first time ever at Augusta, over 30% of the golfers are at least 6'2".
Oh, wow.
Where
Over
did you
30%?
find that?
I just
stat?
Googled
Yeah.
heights,
Right.
PGA Tour heights and shorts of it all. 6'2". They think the number, because we're growing as a society, will continue to go up. But to y'all's point, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer were 5'11" on a good day, they say.
Yep.
Probably closer to 5'10". Ben Hogan was 5'9". Bobby Jones was 5'8". Gary Player was 5'6".
I think he took the picture today with Ludwig. He's standing on the
In the chair?
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
chair.
Yeah, I
So-
know Gary Player's a small dude.
I know
Yeah.
weather is going to be a factor here. I think things are clearing up in Augusta. But with that said, what do you guys think cut line's going to be like? 1 under, 2 under?
Yeah,
I really don't know.
the leaderboard I'm looking at, I don't have.
Well, Scheffler's 2 back at 5 under. He
Yeah.
is 6'3", by the way.
6'3".
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a big.
Yeah,
he's
I
a
didn't
big
realize
boy.
he was that. That's basically my size.
Yeah.
Tony Finau, where you be now, is
Oh
6'4".
yeah, Tony Finau. I didn't even think about
Lance right now +2 would be the cut. Now, obviously that could change
that. What is
depending on the
Spieth
weather
at?
tomorrow. Spieth is at +2.
+2?
He'd
I
be
hope he
making the
makes
cut
the
on the
cut.
number.
DeChambeau's 6'1" and the leader.
Yes, that is true.
Will Zalatoris, I think, is pretty tall too.
Yeah.
Zalatoris is. I saw him earlier. Let's
Yeah,
see.
so 65 out of DeChambeau. So EG was there yesterday.
I
She was giving me a
was.
couple of stories.
Are we done with heights?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was. I checked
How
onto
tall
that
is,
quick.
Victor Hovland.
You want me to find Hovland?
Yeah, find
Okay.
Hovland.
I'm going to say Hovland's 5'10".
Yeah, because Ricky Fowler, another Oak State, is really small, right?
Ricky's pretty
Yeah.
small. Yeah, his wife is beautiful, Allison.
Alan
Stokes.
Stokey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, is she the
Yeah,
pole
yeah.
vaulter?
The
Yes.
track,
Yeah.
the track girl.
She's,
Yeah.
I think, a little taller than him.
By the
he
way,
is 26. He is 5'10".
5'10". I nailed it.
Yeah.
5'10",
Uh,
165. Not even 5'10 and a half, Brownie. 5'10".
On the dot.
Yeah.
Speaking of golf, hello to Aaron Suttles checking in
Oh,
from
hey,
Inverness
Aaron
Country Club. Hello,
Suttles.
Aaron Suttles.
I just sent him a text.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, Aaron
That's me.
is with us.
He was very floral yesterday with our sponsor, Roback. They've got that new.
your
He told me
dad?
what the signature
that's
line
right.
is. You see it with all the
Oh yeah, I
floral
did.
patterns?
Yeah, I like those.
Is that mom?
Yeah. So EG was at Augusta yesterday. EG,
I was.
give us a couple stories.
Okay, let's see. We'll start with.
She felt like a star in front of her
Did
family.
you
by the
see
way.
any
I did.
any celebrities?
Yes.
Yep.
One of our friends, Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
Oh,
EG
wow.
spent some time with
I
Orlovsky
did.
Oh,
yesterday.
he's a really tall dude.
Yeah, super tall. Again, a sneaky tall. I would have never guessed
6'7".
that. So I'll give you guys the rundown of the day. So I live in Atlanta, like my family does.
Well, you live in
I
Birmingham.
live in Birmingham, but my family's in Atlanta.
Right.
So we got up. We left at 5:20ish, I think. We went to Chick-fil-A about 45 minutes outside of Augusta.
You guys always do.
Yeah.
We always do. And there was lots of fellow patrons heading
Uh-huh.
to the National. And then we parked the car right up at the north gates,
Yep.
waltzed right in. I did start to bring my phone, like, out of habit.
That's
and I was
right.
like, whoa. And I
That's
gave
a
my
no-no.
brother a hard time. I was like, don't try anything. Like, leave your phone at home, whatever. And then I was the one that was, like, walking in with it. So it was beautiful. I mean, it was stunning. And it was a little chilly in the morning, but it warmed up nicely. We went straight to the merchandise shop. It was about an hour and a half, maybe hour and 45 from like getting in the line until we came back around and got lots of goodies. It was a lot newer since the last time I'd been there. So one part that was really cool was when you walk in, there's like a rope area inside the pro shop that you have to wait in. And I told Brown that there was this whole room where there was projectors and it was all the signatures of the champions. And I thought that was so cool, like in real time. And then we got our bags and went a little cray-cray at the merch shop. There is a TikTok of what we got that you guys
Oh,
can-
you did. What's in the bag?
Yeah, what's in the bag. A little haul from the Masters
Yeah.
shop. And then we went and got some food. Pimento cheese, egg salad, Masters Club. Masters Club is my favorite.
So, did you eat 3 sandwiches?
Yeah, I had like a million sandwiches, truthfully.
They
I
are
just-
they are teeny tiny.
They're
though.
teeny. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so cheap.
Yeah, but she's a wire.
I mean, they're normal. They're normal bread. They
In a
don't-
good
it's not
way.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the peach ice cream sandwich changed my life.
Oh no!
So
Oh, the
good.
peach ice cream sandwich is
Yeah.
Oh
fantastic.
my gosh,
amazing.
I've never even heard of that.
It was incredible. And then we went to the everything good.
Yeah.
We're just
Little-
turning.
You're a little low.
Oh.
so
We're turning
they're
your
just-
volume
they're
up.
Just pumping you up.
So
Thank you.
then we went to 16 and sat there while they skipped it across. That was super fun. We saw Justin Thomas and Nick Dunlap. That was cool to see the Bama boys playing with Max Homa. We saw Phil. We basically saw everyone we wanted to see besides Ricky and Jordan. And then the rest of the day was the par 3. So we walked pretty much the whole back 9 and then headed over there. But like I said, I saw Dan Orlovsky. And so he passes me. And we like make eye contact, you know? And this was after we actually saw one of our listeners out and about. And
Yeah, EG felt like a star. She's with her
Did you
family.
see any next round gear?
I didn't see any next round gear, but I'm sitting there and I have on my hat, my nice big hat that you guys saw. I love those straw hats. And a little pink romper, feeling very fabulous.
Romper.
And
Will you tell us this real quick? Well, pink romper. So I'm not going to let you forget your place.
okay.
But how far out did you know what you were wearing
Well,
yesterday?
so this is the thing. What I ordered actually didn't come in time.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I
Masters crisis.
have literally
Was it maybe an office manager that placed it somewhere they weren't supposed to?
And so
Whole nother
for
story,
another
by the way.
time. So my stuff didn't come in. I'd actually had to rewear something I'd
Oh
already
my
worn
gosh.
No way.
to East
I can't believe
Lake.
they let you in the gate.
What-
I know.
please tell me it's not off the rack. though.
I mean, it's fine.
You know they
Oh.
profile. You'll probably get your pass revoked
I know.
next year.
I re-wore something to the Masters, and I wore the same thing at East Lake Tour Championship. I felt like I
Yeah,
just
that's why you were on TV. They were like, and some of the Commodores are here today.
That's all right.
I'm not going to dog you out. Like, we know that I'm soft and I worry too much about clothes as a guy. But I've already talked to Kelsey about Rowback because I've only got one. Like, I love the Rowback hoodies. I've got one on right now.
they're so good.
But I've only got one of the golf shirts. And I told her I can't wear the same one I wore to Regions last year.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to need another golf shirt.
So that's why I'm getting a hoodie, because I only get the golf shirts. And she says, you may be getting a hoodie this time because
I just
somebody has passed on
I'm
the
not a
hoodie.
quarter zip guy. I want a hoodie or golf shirt.
I just want hoodies, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll get one this time.
Maybe. There was a ton of Rowback, and I was like, guys, TNR20.
That's right. TNR20, rowback.com.
Yep.
20% off your initial order. All right. So you've got on the pink romper.
Okay, so I'm on the pink romper
Yeah,
and the
sorry about
hat,
that.
That's
feeling
okay.
fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this random group that we kind of stumbled across, and I'm like looking this way down the fairway, and someone to my right goes, "Are you Emily Grace?" And I was like, "Whoa, the full name! Like I am EG MEG." And I was like, "Yes, I am Emily Grace." And he was like, "I'm a big fan of the next round, and like I listen to you guys every day. You guys are doing awesome." I was so thrown off though in the moment.
That was Orlovsky?
No.
No,
okay.
Oh my gosh. No. Dan looked at me like I had 3 heads at first. But then we clarified.
Oh, so it was one of our viewers
it
that
was
was
one of
there.
our viewers. Yes.
Fantastic.
And he works for Royal Cup Coffee.
Oh, great.
And
right.
he actually wore a next round hat like up basically to the gates, and his company said you can't wear anything branded, so he did have to turn around, but he said it was in his car, and he was awesome, and I was so thrilled that he stopped and said hello. I would have gotten a picture with him for our content, but I was kind of just like a little thrown off.
And
But he
nobody
was
has
super nice.
phones.
Well, I had the camera.
I can't believe his
Oh.
company shut him down on the next
I
round.
know.
I know. You
I
ought to be able to
know.
wear a next round hat
I
anywhere.
agree.
Church, anywhere.
So my parents thought I was really cool in that moment.
I was about to say I had to make your parents
Yeah.
proud, right?
It
Daughter
did.
gets recognized at
at the
Augusta.
Masters. Yep. And then shortly after that, we see Dan, and they're like, "No way! Like you're actually gonna go up to him?" And I was like, "Well, I feel like that's good company relations right there." And so I did kind of power walk after him. I was like, "Dan," and he turned around, and again he had no idea who I was. And I was like, "Hey, my
Do the
name's
Dan again.
Dan."
Was he solo?
Dan.
No, he was with a friend.
Okay.
It was a little duo. And I was like, "Hey, my name is Emily Grace McWhorter. I work with the Next Round. You're a guest on our show." And then I was like, Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. He's like, "Oh, yeah. So we chatted for a second. It was his first time there. He's there today, actually.
Right.
And they had like pimento cheese sandwiches thus far. Told him about the peach ice cream sandwich. It changed my life. I think I did. And yeah, I caught up a little bit.
Wow.
It was good.
I just want to go over. I want to see the course and I want to eat that food.
The
So good.
Yeah, like I was telling Will, EG, I don't know if the food, like independent of Augusta, would that food be that good?
No.
I don't think so either. I think it's part of the fact that you're there.
Yeah.
It's a good value.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're at a truck stop in Tupelo and they've got that food,
Ooh, I think I'd be passing on egg salad sandwich
Yeah.
and pimento cheese from Tupelo.
But I tell you what's good is get the pimento cheese and the barbecue
And then do a
sandwich
little combo.
and do the combo.
would you guys like
Push them together.
egg
Yeah.
salad?
Yes.
She made fresh egg salad yesterday. Do you want sandwiches tomorrow?
Yep. I'll
Yeah.
take
White
it.
bread.
yeah,
I'll get them
yes,
cut up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have them. We'll have them tomorrow.
Anything
That
Maddie
sounds
makes,
great.
I'll eat.
No,
She
but
can
that,
cook.
that's the Augusta trick right there. Is you order a barbecue and a pimento cheese and you eat them together
Mm.
because they're
Wow.
not real thick sandwiches.
No, they're
Right.
pretty
Their
thin.
barbecue's good though.
Yeah.
But there again,
Can I just go one bite? Do I
Yeah,
have
if
to
you want
smash
to.
them together?
Yeah, either way.
I would say the right thing to do would be combine.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to look like
If
a,
you say combine it, then
if you want
I
to
mean,
look like
he's
an
a
outsider.
caveman.
Is that the only dessert? I mean, that's
They
what I would go.
have
I don't care what
chocolate
else
chip
they have. That's
cookies.
what I
They
would
got
go with.
that peach sandwich is
I mean, it's
amazing.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love sugar cookies. They have chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal raisin cookies, pralines,
Yep.
caramel popcorn.
Damn, they got
Um,
a pretty deep menu.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic. And it's so
Great.
cheap. Like you can spend $20 in there and have.
I can.
So my buddy, the first time I went with my buddy David Morris,
I love this story.
and when we left, we're walking out, and we were going to drive back to Birmingham. We go in and buy one of everything. We get a barbecue sandwich, pimento cheese sandwich, an egg salad sandwich, the club. Is that all of them, EG? It's 4 sandwiches, right? Barbecue,
Yes.
pimento cheese,
The
egg salad
chicken
club,
sandwich,
chicken sandwich. So we got one of each.
chicken
And
salad
we
sandwich.
just had them stacked up in the car. We ate them all the way back to Birmingham. I mean, it was fantastic, man.
Sounds like a good plan.
Well,
to me.
It was dinner for like $15.
Okay, I have the prices right here. So I
Yep.
took this picture yesterday. Egg salad sandwich, $1.50. Pimento cheese, $1.50. Pork barbecue, $3. Masters Club, $3. Chicken salad on honey wheat, $3. Ham and cheese on rye, and classic chicken, all $3.
When we were walking in, there were a lot of students walking around, and Maddie was like, where are they from? I was like, Homewood Middle. I went right behind here. And those prices, I couldn't have got that in the 80s at Homewood Middle.
Oh, not
no,
at all.
I doubt it. And then a beer, $6.
That's unbelievable.
As opposed to 22 at Crypto.
Literally.
Yeah.
I will tell you about next round gear,
Oh.
though. I didn't have gear on.
iced
but
tea, only $2.
But little T and I were in the locker room interviewing national champion UConn after the national championship.
Right?
And the guy in charge of the media in the UConn locker room, who is from North Carolina, and I had seen him at Crypto as well, when Alabama had beaten North Carolina. It was pregame the day before we'd gone to the North Carolina locker room. We didn't have any next round gear on. We were just pretty well, but we had our passes on, and we were being cordial. We weren't in the big mob we were waiting for them to leave Klingman, and then we were going to jump in that one, being smart because we had 30 minutes and we were not rushed. And he looks down and he goes, "Who are you with?" And I said, "The next round out of Birmingham, Alabama." And he's like, "The next round? So you guys just cover like basketball?" And I was like, I could see where, the next round of the tournament. I said, "No, we cover the SEC, everything." And really, it's the next round of golf, the next round of the tournament, next round of fight, next round of drinks. And he's like, "Oh, I have to check that out."
I love how you say we cover the SEC. You know this is UConn, right? So
Right. Yeah. But we're still expanding in the SEC. You never know.
Never know.
Yeah.
Uh,
We had a 4-day minimum. We had to come to the game, sir.
We are the next round. If you're here at Odie's with us in Edgewood, nextroundlive.com is where you find everything. We have our own YouTube channel, Next Round Live, and we appreciate you subscribing, setting your alerts, giving us a thumbs up if you're watching this show at Next Round Live on all social media.
So, random question here. Are you treated the same at the Masters if you are a billionaire or if you're one of us?
Yeah.
And
Well-
and I say that like you go to Super Bowl, you see some people have a suite. You go to an event at Waste Management, people have suites. But what's the layout for?
So they did this recently without any sort of announcement or anything. They built a place called Berkman's Place. Berkman's Road runs around the perimeter of, and I think it's an old family there or something, around the perimeter of Augusta National. So near number 5, they built this place, and it doesn't come with your everyday pass. There's an additional pass to that. And it's a little more exclusive. And they just did another one called Flag and
Map. Map and Flag.
Map and Flag.
Yeah.
Because, the logo's the Georgia map with the flag, or the United States map with the flag in it, like that. And it's a little more, I haven't seen that yet, EG.
Dan and his friend said they went there last night for dinner.
Right.
But I think what's cool, at least from my perspective, is on the course, unlike like TPC Sawgrass or these other places, there's certain like cabanas, if you will, where it's very exclusive. You can tell there's a lot of celebrities, but there, if you want to go out and about, like you're kind of in the fray,
Right.
Like you're just you're hiding in plain sight in a way.
Yeah. To EG's point, if you're not a member, you're probably a member or a guest of a member, Lance. You're probably out in the crowd with everybody else.
Yeah. But there is the cutoff. It's a small group of patrons, right? There's not they don't sell an enormous amount of tickets.
I think the cutoff though, Jim's like 45,000 people.
Yeah, but on 18 holes, it can that spreads out pretty well.
Well, you guys
it's not as packed as a U.S. Open.
The only major I ever went to was when we had one at Shoal Creek, and what was that, 1990, 89, 90, whatever that was. Can't even remember what the crowd was like. But like on a big day at Regions, on a Saturday or Sunday, what will it top out at?
Back in the day, I don't know what it is now, but back in the day, it would be about 40 or 45,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it seemed crowded.
Yeah, I remember Hallman writing him up on the board back in the day, and the Sunday attendance all the time used to be over 30,000. and on the golf course at one point, and then you'd have that bowl there on 18 just covered with humans back then.
Michael says he ran into Jason Kidd just walking around. You'll see that if you pay attention while you're there. You'll run into celebrities.
Dan Orlovsky.
Like Dan
Andrew
Orlovsky.
Jones was there yesterday.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah.
Should be a Hall of Famer.
Should be. I'm trying to think of who else I heard about. Oh, John B. Christ. He walked
John
right,
Christ?
Yeah, he walked right
The,
past us. The
comedian?
Himmy guy?
I thought you were going to
No.
say John Snyder.
No, John.
The Hemi guy is John Reap.
Okay.
Yeah. John
Christ.
Christ
John
is
Christ.
he's the guy that was like a Christian comedian and kind of got he had an issue.
You know what I heard today?
What?
Speaking of
This
John
ought to
Snyder,
be interesting.
when I brought up John Snyder, who do you think of?
Bo Duke.
Bo
Yeah,
Duke.
exactly.
So I saw an interview with Dennis Quaid, who turned 70 this week.
That's my celebrity crush.
No, it's not.
Dennis Quaid.
Bo
I already
Duke?
said that.
So,
Dennis Quaid.
okay. So Dennis Quaid got
It's like
some
70.
But like young Dennis
Oh.
Quaid.
Yeah, no, but he got some plastic surgery done a couple of years ago, and it like made him look different, and he's gotten it redone. At least the
Yeah.
interview I saw today. But they were doing a little true or false with him, and he was offered the parts of both Bo and Luke. And the reason he turned them down is the movie I brought up the other day, Breaking Away. The director told him, "Hey, look, you don't want to pass on this movie."
Dennis Quaid was offered either Duke Boy.
Yep.
Is what she's telling me.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because Tom Wopat and John Schneider were not known actors. Were
No,
they?
no,
Yeah.
no. And Wopat has done Broadway since. Snyder's done a lot of different things. He
Yeah.
sings right now. He was at Floribama last year. Another interesting, I saw an old clip from Kevin Costner. He's talking about Field of Dreams. Do you know who was offered the original role? There was one actor they wanted that wasn't Kevin Costner.
And he's playing Ray.
Oh,
Have you ever seen Field of Dreams? I think it's overrated. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
I'm not a
cool.
huge
I don't-
fan.
I don't know.
If you've got a really good
think
relationship with the
so.
father, maybe he's passed away, and you play baseball together. There's some sentimental value to it. It's a kind of a fantasy story. Cinematography's good. I personally thought it was overrated.
So this is somebody that was offered the role of Ray.
Yeah, well, they
Kinsella.
wanted him, and then there was a pivot from the director, and I'll give you the story if you can guess who the actor was that they actually targeted early. You want to take a guess? So this is 1988, 89, and he was a pretty popular actor at that point.
in 88, 89?
Yeah.
Rob Lowe.
And it's a great story on why he didn't get it. It was not Rob Lowe. A little bit bigger than that.
You know, I was initially, he would have been too old. I was going to say Burt Reynolds, but Burt Reynolds would have been too old at that point.
It was Robin Williams.
Oh, so
Wow.
they're going to do a comedy?
Interesting.
No, and so Robin Williams is like, I don't know if you've ever seen The Fisher King. You've obviously seen Dead Poets Society, Good Will Hunting. I mean, the guy is a versatile. He was an incredible actor
Yes.
because he was just an entertainer and so comfortable. But the director pulled Kevin, and he was bigger than Kevin Costner back then. Pulled Kevin Costner to the side, and he said, "We love Robin, but Robin is the kind of guy that would hear voices from a cornfield. We want," and he really said that. He was like,
Goodness.
"We want somebody that is believable that would never hear this unless something magical was happening." And Robin is one of those guys that would be like, "Damn, I hear voices from the cornfields." And he's like, "It made sense." And he's like, "Really, that director pulled a Mariano Rivera and saved the movie."
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to say because you've seen it now, but it just doesn't seem like it'd be the same movie with Robin Williams.
Not at all. Dennis Quaid in Rookie. Is that
No, Dennis Quaid and Soul Surfer,
okay?
the dad.
Now,
I have
so
to go
Soul
check that
Surfer
back
is
out.
on Bethany Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
That's the girl that lost an arm in a shark.
Yeah.
Shark
And
attack?
then
Oh,
Cheaper
yeah.
by the Dozen.
Is it
Also.
Yeah. Christian based?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
so. That's an incredible story. She still serves.
Oh my gosh.
Tiger Shark took that arm
I
off.
love Bethany Hamilton. As
I
a
haven't
kid.
seen the movie. Is it
It
worth the
is
watch?
So good. I mean, I rarely like shed a tear, truthfully.
Really?
And, yeah.
We got some hard MFers on these.
We really do.
Yeah.
The-
What's so
our
crazy?
girls, man.
No, we've got like
Yeah.
we've got like really emotional or really like
Yeah.
stone cold.
So I'm
'Cause,
really
like, you're stone cold. Yeah.
I'm really emotional.
Emotional.
Little T and EG hardcore. They don't no tears.
Yeah.
I mean,
Suck it up, Buttercup.
I have been, that's what our old boy John Henry Nemechek.
I
Or what's
cringed,
his
I
name?
cringed when he said
I
that.
a little
did
bit, me too. I was like, come on now.
Did
John Hunter. I'm sorry, John
I was
Hunter.
like, dude,
Nemechek.
you're 5'2". Don't tell me that.
I have been told he is a small guy. Nice guy though. I kind of liked him. I have been told I have had my heart called mechanical. That I have a mechanical heart.
Interesting. They're just kind
I'm not a very emotional guy. I mean, Lance is right.
I
I'm not-
think you should. Like, I used to be like that. I think there was like a period. I went like 5 or 6 years without shedding a tear.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of important, and I can't remember the last time I have. But I think it's important to show that emotion.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the last time I like truly cried.
I guarantee you had some Jimmy Choos on and you stuck to the mud puddle.
I don't know about cry.
Oh, you'd be super pissed.
I would. Yeah, I'd be.
Are you one of those like?
I'm not gonna apologize for being emotional.
That's
I love,
okay.
No,
We're
that's
not asking you to.
I love
I said
crying.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think it is too.
So today I was eating lunch at Slice,
Yeah.
and I had that vinaigrette on the red mozzarella, which is so good. And I was making sure, like, if it hits
Ugh.
this, there's a chance it doesn't come out,
Yeah.
and that like shoots my. It shouldn't ruin my day, but it does.
Makes, yeah, no, I agree. I spill things, as you guys are well aware of by now,
Yes.
like all the time.
hot beverages,
Oh,
cold beverages.
Anything.
See, I didn't know
Yeah.
that about you.
Yeah, I don't.
Dunaway spills wine on couches.
Oh,
that
you
aren't
steal
his.
things. I thought by hearing, I said you steal things. I was like, I do not know this about you, but that explains 5 or 6
do
things
not
I've lost.
steal things. Oh my
She's a
gosh.
klepto.
I'm not a thief.
Yeah,
Where was I going with that?
You spill things a lot.
I spill things a lot.
you just felt like you needed
Oh,
to
because
have
I,
one
ruin
clause.
I ruined like 2 separate things recently because I spilled Taco Bell on my lap
Yeah.
because I was driving and trying to eat, and then
Well, I owe Sheraton in L.A. a couch, or in Phoenix
Yeah, I
a
saw
couch.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
Do they know about it?
well, they,
I
they
hope
can go
not.
watch the video.
I hope
You
not.
might be getting an invoice. For the right
UConn can
couch.
pay for it.
Yeah, let them fans. pay for it.
Michael remembers that EG spilled her drink at DeBoer's opening press conference. She didn't just spill her drink; she spilled it under the Sabins.
Yeah, no, it was under the DeBoers. I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
even
it's the
worse.
DeBoer's. That's right. Yeah,
Have a great day, guys.
No,
yeah.
seriously. I was actually in Tuscaloosa for the Final Four coverage there. And one of our listeners, he was awesome. And he was like, hey, you spilled anything lately? And I was like, no, I have not. But I appreciate the inside joke.
I didn't know that was a thing with
Yeah.
you.
So I say all that because I ruined 2 pairs of pants. But before that, Soul Surfer, great movie. Check it out. I love sharks. We've talked about that though. And so that was cool. I was sad when they killed the shark in that, but it needed to happen.
Spoiler alert! EG.
Yeah.
Well, I
it's-
mean-
so is the shark attack? Is it?
It's not graphic at all.
Okay.
It's not the most.
Well, because it's a family movie, right?
Yeah, it's a low budget cinematography film. So keep that in mind.
Did the church in Georgia do it? There's a church in Georgia that did a bunch of Christian
Oh.
films.
Yeah, I
Like
had,
Little
I,
Giants or something.
I
like
had
Yeah,
the
that.
they did Little
I had the
Giants.
conversation about this with our friend George today.
Yeah.
And we were talking about The Chosen, which
Yeah,
you
yep.
turned me on to. But most, unfortunately, Christian-based, like Underdog American Story about
Yeah.
Kurt Warner.
The Wheel. What's the Wheel one?
Woodlawn, the Irwin brothers. There's
Yeah.
just the
You
production.
said 2 Irwin brothers who live here in Birmingham.
I know. I mean, they do great work, but
But-
the production
Well, they
value
don't have the
is
same budget.
Exactly,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. I
But
think
Hollywood's not going to put a lot behind
No,
a
they're not.
that's
Christian-based
why
film.
The Chosen has been. Really
Oh
cool
man,
for
so
production.
we just got into it, but production value is really good. The
Yeah.
acting's really good, and I love when you get an ensemble cast of actors that you don't know any of them.
Yeah, there's
And
not
it
like
works.
anyone that you're super recognizable.
Yeah, I mean that worked for Succession, and all those guys are stars now.
So
Outside
for
Brian
those that
Cox.
don't know who what the Chosen is, it's basically Jesus' life,
Yeah,
right?
it's
yeah.
the gospel
So, yeah,
and it's well done,
and it's
man.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
and Amazon Prime, I think.
I think it's 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, I think that's the 4th season.
Have you seen it, Dunaway?
I have not.
Yeah, it's.
I've read the book.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. We were all going to
You know
say
how
it.
it is.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. That's me though. I don't read the book. I always watch what's on. on
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah,
though. I've
I
heard,
really
I've heard
like
it's
it.
well done.
So is it done biblically or is it done like
It's
Where Mary Magdalene is the opening episode.
yeah.
like is it true to the Bible or is it
Yes.
an interpretation that
No, it's
All the important,
like
everything important is true to the Bible, and now like they have like Matthew has a dog, and that's not in the Bible, but that is
Yeah.
Well,
like,
but it's
But-
also not
creative
like,
freedom.
but it's
Yeah.
not in the Bible.
Yeah.
He
It
needed-
never says
he
Matthew
needed
does
the
not have a
dog.
dog.
Does he have a Vishla though?
No, it was like a
Okay.
little. I
Oh,
don't know.
that's Satan. Satan's got the vision.
Stop.
But they don't
The
end up
spawn
doing
of
they don't
Satan.
end up doing like it's not Melrose Place of the Bible, right? Where they're taking everything out of context and
No,
everybody's
I
laying
would,
out
I would
by
endorse
the
it.
Dead Sea or something like that, bikinis or anything.
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, normally I'm the one that I get asked, "Hey, what's going on in here? What's happening here?" And I'm the one that's asking
Yeah.
the questions
That's
now.
good.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
I
like,
want.
I just,
Wait,
I don't,
let's
I don't
pause
really
it.
go-
Let's recap.
Yeah.
that.
We're live at Odie's Edgewood. We've gotten
We're all over the place.
We are all over the
We
place.
are.
Those are the shows I like. Scotty Scheffler, by the way, is playing 18. He's at 6 under par.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Just
he's
one shot behind DeChambeau.
Him over DeChambeau for me.
Oh, I think
agreed.
everybody would be
I'm
shocked.
not a DeChambeau guy.
Now,
you can't win the tournament on the first day. You can lose it.
Yeah.
But if Scheffler goes in the clubhouse
away
at
with
600, boy, he's gonna be tough. isn't
Well,
he?
especially he's played with the win this afternoon.
That's true.
I think the only thing that beats him is his wife.
Yeah. That's
For those that don't know, she's pregnant.
He's going to be in the bunker on the left side of the fairway on 18.
Yeah, you make par from there.
He'll do good to make par from there. Birdie's probably out, so he's not going to be the clubhouse leader. Danny Willett's the story, the former Jacksonville State
crazy.
Star, former
That's
champion.
awesome.
But this happens every year,
He
Brown. In
is.
round one,
Yeah.
there is a former champion, whether
Yeah.
it's Fred Couples
Yep.
Yeah.
or somebody like that who comes out of nowhere,
I
plays
agree.
one great round because they know how to play the course,
And that's what makes it so fun.
and then they fall apart.
I think it's more DeChambeau, though. I mean, I agree. I mean, if Willett was to hang around, I mean, I would assume that DeChambeau probably hangs around for a little
Was
bit with
it-
this great round.
No, I don't disagree. Yeah.
Was it last year that Rory
Matsuyama's
had
killing
the big lead and lost it to Scotty? He was in
Yeah.
contention of, I think, a long.
I think that's every year.
Yeah.
every year.
Unfortunately
It's
for
hard.
Rory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every
Going for the
year.
Grand Slam.
He either misses the cutter or at some point he blows the
they
lead.
said
And
this.
Roy just bogeyed 16, by the way.
They said this about Rory. It's hard to believe this is his 10th attempt at the career Grand Slam.
That's
Think
right.
about that. For a decade, he's only needed the Masters
That's
for a
all he
career Grand
wanted.
Slam.
Where his game would be really good.
It's fantastic.
yeah.
But it's just not good enough
yeah.
consistently. He's
It-
started bad.
It's
Is
a
his
mental
problem.
thing. It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
I really believe it.
Well, you know, he had the Masters in the bag one year and completely melted
Yeah.
on the back nine. And that I agree. I think that's probably where it started with him.
So now every year at age 34, he comes back, and it's maybe his chances of winning the career Grand Slam dwindles by a year if he can't get it done this
Yeah.
year. He's 35 next year. He's 36.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're on the other side of the mountain.
I
Getting
never
that thing done.
I never got to it on the show today or on the show this week, but a cool story. So you guys know the drive, pitch, and putt,
Drive, chip, and
drive, chip, and putt.
Yep.
Thank you, EG. That Augusta hosts for the youth, right?
Golf's version of the punt, pass, and kick.
Very much so. And they do it for kids, and they do it the week before the Masters. Akshay Bhatia, who won last week
yes.
to get into the Masters, becomes the first player ever to compete in both.
So
How cool a story is that? That he did I don't know how old he was.
I mean, he
EG.
looked pretty young.
He looked pretty young.
Under
I think
15.
it was 10 years ago. So he was probably
I think he's close
12,
to my age.
13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Competes in that as a kid and then eventually makes the Masters. I mean,
Amazing.
the odds on that happening are insane.
So cool. Oh, I love all the stories of the Masters.
Yep.
Yeah, but
we
you're
have
not
any
emotional.
Good comments.
No, I'm saying no, we're not going to get into this.
What?
We're over the air, okay? The people of Odie's don't want to hear my emotional state, guess.
Oh, I think they zoned out of us
Yeah,
about 30
that's
minutes
fair.
ago.
Yeah, that's okay. Michael says Quaid in the dog movie was tough. That
Oh,
was
Marley and Me?
Marley and Me. I never saw that.
That is the worst movie ever.
I refuse.
hate animal movies
Well,
because of that.
have you seen Dog with Channing Tatum?
No, I won't watch animal
No, it's
movies.
fantastic. I'm
Okay.
just going to tell you there's not a bad ending to it.
Okay,
I
then
saw
maybe.
it twice. It was that good. So if you want to see a
Okay.
good animal movie, Dog is it.
I can't do animal movies because Marley and Me we saw on Christmas
Oh,
in
Oh,
2008, and we
Yeah.
have a golden retriever. We've only had golden
Yeah.
retrievers.
And
I
how
don't
old
know
were
why
you
do
then?
that.
I was 7.
You don't know why you do
You're
what?
7, you're watching Marley and Me on
I
Christmas.
don't know why
Yeah.
they make movies,
But
but
you
like,
tried that.
anybody's had a dog, you know how painful it is when a dog dies. There's no reason to have a movie on a dog
No,
dying.
and if show the dog dies, anytime the dog dies,
In terms of
immediately
endearment,
no.
I can have the old lady in the bed go down.
But I can't have the dog.
Can't
What
have
about
it
the
all.
wife, the young girl in the bed? In terms of endearment.
That was Deborah Winger, wasn't it? Yeah.
No, it was
I thought it
Julia
was.
Roberts, right?
Julia Roberts was in the other, what's the country bumpkin one? Still Magnolias.
Oh, the Steel Magnolias.
Country bumpkin.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
Steel Magnolias. My bad.
So the guest from Bobby on Field of Dreams was Tom Selleck. That was
Oh,
that's a pretty good
That's a good
guess right there.
guess,
Yeah. Michael guessed Charlie Sheen, which kind of, he was doing Major League at the time, though, right? That was 88, 89,
Yeah.
Major League.
It'd be hard to blend those two together.
It would
Yeah.
be.
I mean, he would have had a party out in the cornfield.
Jeff wants to, he says, Willie Z looking strong.
Willie Zilly, he does.
Will Zalatoris, who has undergone surgery and is coming back from,
On the course today,
yes, Jim, at the turn.
concessions are low, and so is insurance and medical
He
coverage,
had an appendectomy at the turn.
but only for $1.50.
Will Zalatoris with a 70 today, but this is a guy that has come back from a long time away due to injury. So he's back in.
Give us
Just
a
matter
Tiger
of time,
update.
though, man.
Tiger even par, Jim, through
I like
7
that.
holes.
That's
Even
not
par
bad.
through 7.
Not bad.
Keep it even.
Birdied the first and gave one back on 4, the difficult par 3, and has parred everything else. So 1 birdie, 1 bogey.
So Rom just bogeyed to go to +1. You're defending
You're
champion.
defending champ.
And I'm wondering if his Spaniard
Neil?
feistiness will
Oh.
come out because he's been pretty controlled recently.
Well, I don't ever see him. He's on the live, so I
That's
can't
true.
tell you.
Yeah. But he's got his live gear on today, right? He's wearing the team outfit.
I think so, yeah. I think they all
You
are.
pay me enough, I'd wear whatever. you want.
Absolutely. Dwayne asked if we could keep him updated on how Brooks does on hole number 9. It's very
That
specific.
is very specific.
I don't know if he's got a bet on that, but Brooks is playing the
I
7th
think-
right now.
I think he was like
This is
2
Hovland for birdie.
over.
That's a big putt right
Boom,
there.
boom. Nothing but the bottom of the cup.
You know, tell me, Hovland, did he not have a 6 on the front 9 on one hole?
He had 6 to start the back 9.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
double bogey.
I mean, you think about it, if he didn't have that double bogey where he
Yeah, that's right.
Cruising.
I don't really know, LT. The graphic just popped up behind you. It sounds like I've been watching this all day.
Yeah,
The graphic
really,
popped
haven't,
up when you asked
Well,
it.
you know what so I was listening to Mike Tirico and Taylor Zarzar. I was in the car for like 45 minutes. I like
there's
listening
Mick
to
Dunlap.
golf.
Yeah, +5.
Bama boy.
I
Just
like
doubled
listening to
18.
golf on Sirius XM.
I do
Oh,
too.
really? You like that?
I really do.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like when Shane Lowry, what was it, the British Open?
Yeah.
The Open he won?
Yep.
I was on the way to the beach and listened to every bit of that.
Did you really?
Yep.
Wow.
I like that. I think they got that British woman that follows him at the British Open.
Ah,
He's putting for a birdie here. Chris says Dunaway is the sole surfer of the next round.
Oh.
I
think
think
I
I
am.
lose an arm.
I don't know what that means.
I think I
EG,
am.
do you think he is? EG, you've
I
seen the
mean-
movie.
I don't know if you want to be compared to no arm, but I feel like she is a great person and you're a great person.
Bobby says he balls every time he sees Oh Captain, My Captain and Dead Poet Society. Old Yeller.
Oh,
And
wow.
whenever he sees the final out of the greatest game ever played, November 2nd, 2016, Cleveland, Ohio, he's a Cubs fan. That was Cubs World Series win.
I saw that play the other day, by
Military
the way.
homecomings make my eyes.
Oh, we
sweat.
talked about it the other day, EG. There was one at Augusta. So, again, back to the drive, chip, and putt. There's a young girl that was participating in it, and her
Aw.
mom is overseas. And Mike Tirico, they're doing a banquet the night before, and Mike Tirico is the MC of the banquet.
Wait, what are you getting all teared up about?
Nothing.
Because I call him a great person. Or
She
is
said
it-
something nice. It was nice.
I didn't even catch it. Did you?
I did. Okay,
I guess I didn't say nice.
I
things
don't-
at all.
this is a show over
No,
here.
no, no. I don't get a lot of nice things. It means a lot.
Your
It means a lot.
estrogen, we got to check these
I
levels.
really do.
It is blowing up.
What did she say?
She just sincerely said I was a nice person. That meant a lot.
Man, we got to give you more compliments.
That's
Yeah,
what I
I
said.
guess so. I'm sorry, Jim.
So I appreciate it. Thank you,
So anyway,
especially from you. I didn't want to hire you.
Oh,
I mean,
this is
you
gonna
know
be a
when
fun
this
one.
is why he doesn't get compliments.
Yeah,
I mean,
we joke about it all the time.
oh, okay, good.
Yeah, it's been a long running joke.
Is this live?
So the girls participating in the drive, chip, and putt,
Yep.
and Mike Tirico's hosting the banquet, and he says, of course, her mother is overseas serving in the United States military, and everybody claps.
Oh no.
He says, but she did a video for you. So they play the
Wow.
video, and girls crying, little brothers crying, dad's hugging them all, he's crying.
Aw.
And Mike Tirico says, your mother would give anything to be here. She wouldn't miss this for the world. So she has it. She's here tonight. And oh my God, EG,
gosh.
room comes apart, man.
I would have, yeah, that kind of stuff gets me. Like
Every
my
time.
day-to-day stuff, like that, like animal stuff,
Yeah.
Military things
military
with the family.
homecoming.
Yeah, that empty seat at the table.
And
Oh,
then like
gets me
the
every time.
Stapleton national anthem. Oh,
Yeah.
every time.
Oh, have you?
Second best national anthem ever.
To Whitney.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, to
know.
Whitney.
I liked Stapleton, but Dunaway, we were present in Indianapolis, Alabama, Georgia when the Christian music artist.
Lauren Daigle.
Oh
Nope.
yeah, no, it was, wasn't it?
Nope.
She's a good singer.
She is a good singer.
Gosh, what's her name, EG?
Carrie
She's-
Joe.
Nope.
Keep
Keep doing it.
Amy
You'll get
Grant.
it. Hang on, no. Sandy Patty.
Oh. See, my mom loves Sandy
No,
Patty.
that's not who it was. She's 1,000.
Need to breathe.
No, it's a female.
Lauren Daigle,
No,
Carrie
you're gonna
Joe.
know when I say her name, EG.
Oh, wait, Holcomb.
No,
Ellie
Ellie,
Holcomb?
yeah. No.
What is her name? She did a great national anthem.
Madonna.
No.
Can you give me a?
Christian music artist.
That's it. Okay.
Lives in Nashville.
Lives in Nashville.
Look it up, Dunaway. She
I
was
am.
fantastic.
I did
Fantastic
see Lauren Daigle in
national
concert
anthem,
one
yeah.
time. She was excellent. She sounds like Adele.
She's talented.
Yeah.
Jordan Fisher.
B. Rich says The Shallows with Blake Lively, great shark movie. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I've seen that one.
Well, I will say that somebody told me that it is really underrated. It's better than you would expect. I love me some Blake
That was
Lively,
how
but
I went into it. Better than you expect.
so you didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it.
I just
Jordan Fisher. Brown.
No.
I don't think you can do like one shark movie like Jaws. You just can't ever touch it.
I
so
agree. Yeah, unless it's like Shark Tales.
was that Will Smith?
Yeah.
Dave says, speaking of movies or shows, have you seen Quiet on the Set on Max? Yikes. That came up on the show the other day. Dunaway has watched it.
I watched it. It was
I think you got to be in the right mindset. Right?
There's not a mindset. where I'm
Natalie
gonna-
Grant.
Natalie Grant. Yeah, that was it.
Oh,
Natalie
okay.
Is
Grant.
that Amy Grant's sister?
No, I don't think there's any relation whatsoever.
Yeah, I want to see Quiet on the Set, kind of, but
It's not well done. I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
that's annoying.
The story is disturbing, and it made me so mad as I watched it. But because that was the children's television
for me.
for you and my daughter,
Yeah.
who's the same age as
Yeah.
you, and and I watched those shows with her. Like I was a big iCarly fan with her, and
I was Disney
Yeah.
and PBS.
Yeah, that's my kids were Disney PBS. We never did any of the Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
We did a lot of the Nickelodeon, and iCarly was really good. And then to see how this guy treated people
Yeah.
and some of the other stuff, just horrible.
Were you Martha or Word Girl or
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Dragon
Arthur.
Tales.
we didn't really do Dragon
love
Tales.
Dragon
Arthur,
Tales.
Word Girl.
The Between the Lions.
Between the Lions was
Love
Harper early
Between the
on. Yeah,
Lions.
that was her grandparents on Maggie's side that
Introduced her to that.
wanted her to watch that because it would make you smarter.
The cliffhanger.
yeah.
Mikey says Augusta is a par 67 for Bryson. This guy doesn't know golf. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Mikey Leonos
Oh, I know him.
probably has never even played
Probably
golf in
never
his
in
life.
Yeah. When's the last time he got to walk the grounds? though?
Also, he's
Wasn't
wrong.
this week.
He's wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Was he there?
No, I
Um,
know. It was an exclusive invite.
Yeah.
Troy will never watch dog movies, he says. Jeff says Old Yeller still hurts.
I had to get a confirmation going into Dog that
The
the
dog
dog
was
wasn't
okay?
going to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got no desire. Like, I Am Legend. I love it. It's one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Spoiler alert, 15 years old. But Samantha the dog dies, and it is awful.
What was that movie recently? I walked out of it. Superhero Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right?
The newest one has a lot of animal like torture in it. So
Oh,
I walked
really?
out.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Steven
The whole
says he was
story is
pissed at
that.
I Am Legend because
But
of the
it-
dog.
Yeah.
They're safe.
That's what I just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they saved it.
I mean, you think about it, you're the only, at least at this point, person in the world that survives this virus, and you have a dog that is handed to you, a pup, before your wife and child die in a helicopter accident, and so that pup grows with you, and it's your only companion, and then
Right.
it dies in the middle of the movie, and
That's
I'm like,
horrible.
we didn't need this.
It's horrible.
Yeah, why include that? Why include
I-
that?
Well, they
didn't
did
add
it because it
anything.
ended up a suicide mission afterwards because he had nothing to live for, and then it
Spoiler alert.
got to the climax of the movie. Anyway, if you hadn't seen it, it's still worth it.
All right, I got to go back and find Kepka because we got an update from our guy Dwayne. He's bet Kepka to birdie number 9 at plus 450.
Oh,
Dwayne, you've got what we call a
yikes.
Is that a problem?
I don't want to call it a problem.
No.
You've got a itch.
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Now
I'm sure you bet on just about anything, right?
I haven't really gotten on the app. Like I'll have some match plays tomorrow in Lance's Lock, but I haven't got on the app. You know, there's live. Like when you go to break, Raiders Bucks are playing. There's an automatic line right when you go to break, so you can bet throughout the game on that. I didn't realize you could going into a hole. You could bet whether or not
Can
it's.
you bet how many wobbles there are before Mr. Harmon?
Brian Harmon, the club waggle.
Yeah,
I
bet you can.
well,
Hard to watch.
I don't think we're going to be live when he plays number 9. So I am sorry, Dwayne. He is just now on number 8. That's a par 5. It's going to take him a minute to play that one.
Oh yeah.
So I apologize. Steven asked if Tiger has released anything from his new brand yet. I think you can buy
Yeah.
that online.
Yeah,
SundayRed.com.
He's wearing it today, actually.
He is.
So
He
is it anybody behind it, or is it just his brand?
Do you mean does he own it?
Like I'm talking
right.
about, like I know they split from Nike, but is like Under Armour behind it?
Yeah, who's making it? It's like
I do not know that.
I think
like
it's,
is Nike making it for him? under a
No,
different
he
brand?
split it entirely with Nike, I think. Yeah.
I want to say it's just his manufacturing.
Yeah. I mean, Adidas or somebody could be making it under that brand. I don't know.
See, I like having a big name behind it.
Yeah. Jordan
Yeah.
Spieth is wearing Sunday Reds, but not the brand.
Yeah, he's Under Armour.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
be
wearing
he'll be
red and black.
packing those up in the car
Yeah.
and heading out on Friday.
I want Jordan Spieth to be good again.
I
Me
don't.
too.
Oh, I don't.
Lance
like the
doesn't
guy.
like him.
Me too.
EG, Lance doesn't like him.
Why?
He's the.
Lance doesn't like him because he gets mad at his caddy.
He does. He gets
Oh,
on his
he
ass,
does.
and it's his buddy.
It is his
Yeah.
buddy. They've been together for a long time.
But I mean, the caddy's making money too. LT, it's a job.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Lance,
but hey, he gave him the right club. You hit it wrong.
and Lance doesn't like it because I don't. It's a weird thing you don't like about him, but he gets on himself too. Like, come on, Jordan.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah,
Like,
Lance doesn't like
commentary.
that.
So somebody did ask us in Twitter last night, or on X, or whatever you guys want to call it. And I don't know if you saw this. If you were to play against Tiger Woods and he's blindfolded for the full 18, but he's got a caddy, could you beat him? And I was like,
No.
hell no.
So yeah, so
No.
Tiger's blindfolded, but the caddy gets to line him up and tell him the yardage and all that, and we
No.
get to play normal.
I still think he's probably plus 4 or 5, right?
His dad probably did that to him. Back
Oh
in the
yeah,
day.
he's probably tried it.
Yeah. No.
Probably so. It's a good
Yeah,
point.
my guess would be we get waxed in that deal.
Yeah, I forgot who my buddy at Hoover is that's basically blind. I talked about this story. He's a big NC State guy. And everybody has to read his putts and everything, and he's still like a 4 or 5
That's
handicap.
really cool.
Yeah. Charlie Boswell was a really low handicap here locally for a long time.
Somebody just lined him up, right?
Lined him up
Yeah.
every time, but you
Really
know,
cool.
just repeating the motion of the stroke. He and Bob Hope were great friends, and
I
Bob
think-
Hope would come to town every year to play with him.
What's really cool about golf is how accessible it is to so many different people. And most sports are not like that.
No, I would agree with you on that.
And they're working, I know my
Scheffler got
brother
in 6 under.
helps out with golf accessibility camps and stuff, which is really cool.
So
For
6 under
veterans.
for Scheffler with the wind blowing. That's a pretty good round.
It's so watching Masters and all of these majors, it's such a great sport. I just can't get into it. I don't have the attention span. I wish I
For
did.
golf or for the Masters?
No, for golf. Like, I can watch this all day long. Like, I wish I could go out and
Oh,
like we could have great foursomes this summer.
yeah.
But I
That'd be fun.
can't get into it. It's a lot of concentration.
It is a lot of concentration.
And I'm not talking about to even be competitive. I'm just talking about like you're going out there and it is a commitment to go out, get the clubs, get out there, get on the range, and play a full round of golf.
Mikey and I will take on you and Brownie.
Where am I?
Working,
You
covering
give-
our
you-
shifts.
You're the on-course reporter.
Okay.
I will go whatever amount if you give me 1 week to hit balls.
Yeah.
And I haven't
You
played
got
in-
into whenever we play it.
Okay, I haven't.
We could stream it live and EG could do the she could do the commentary.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, and I want to like hit a few though.
Okay.
I need 1 week though,
Okay.
because I haven't played since the time we played with Walls at Heatherwood.
Yeah, I have a golf simulator at my apartment actually.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, there's a golf simulator down there.
I did not know
Oh,
that.
Yeah,
it's
so-
not in your apartment.
No,
It's in your
oh my
complex.
gosh, it's like down below.
I was
Yeah.
about to
Have
say,
you
how
used
big's
it
your
yet?
apartment?
Yeah,
Yeah, is
Yeah.
it good?
it's nice. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's rainy and cold, do you mind me
Just
coming
go-
over?
No, not at all. Y'all come check it out.
How
I-
many
I'm
people
paying
use
for
it?
No one. That's the thing. Is like it. I think that's one of those things that it's a perk and it isn't a very expensive item, but it's relatively like.
Like
pay
I've
for
heard
it
of
once.
hot tubs at apartment complexes. I've never heard of a golf
But then you can
simulator.
say we have a golf simulator. Who's actually going to get out
Well,
there?
it
and use
does set you apart a little
Probably
bit.
like 3 people.
Do you have a hot chocolate station?
Yeah, we actually do.
Yeah, Leighton does at her new place.
Yeah, I like it. But you know what's
A
annoying
hot chocolate
is
station.
that it's not open until like 9:00. So everyone's gone at work. That's how they.
9
run
a.m.
out. Yeah.
What, the golf simulator or the hot
no,
chocolate
the hot
station?
chocolate
Oh,
station.
her hot chocolate's 24/7.
Why
See,
would you
it-
not have it open all the time?
Exactly.
It's hot chocolate.
I know. It's like all coffee.
You know,
too.
that is one of those underrated treats that I never have. I have hot chocolate maybe once
love
every
hot
5
Well,
years.
I tell you what I hate about hot chocolate is like if you get it at like a high school football game or something,
Concession stand, yeah.
a concession stand, it comes out lava
Oh,
hot.
It burns
you
you.
and
can't taste food for a week.
I know, and like I know that in my mind, but you know what I'm still gonna do?
You're gonna.
I'm gonna-
yeah.
I'm gonna sip it, and it's gonna scald my tongue.
Yeah.
And I want those little marshmallows so quick. I
For
try to get
sure.
those in.
Yeah, probably disintegrate.
Yeah.
That is just so stupid on my part, though. I know it's scalding hot,
Yeah.
but I'm still going to sip it through that little thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like they ought to make it, put them on hold,
Yeah.
and you kind of know when it's still warm,
Or-
and you give those.
Or you could do you want it piping hot or do you want it,
Or
you know,
a
cool
little-
off a little bit? I'll
yeah.
take a cool off a little bit.
I
right
agree.
there. So I go and drink.
Take the cool off.
So I drink it right
yeah,
now.
I want a skin graft. Give me the hottest you got.
Oh, I mean, it will scald you.
It's the way
man.
pizza is too, though. That pizza
Yeah.
first.
No,
comes
you're
out.
right.
You
wanna
know,
take
though,
that
when
right
I
away.
had slice today, I did the slice in the salad. I did a slice of the Hawaiian, and it came out. It was a great temperature, but I went straight at it, and it didn't burn me.
Me
That's
too.
good.
I did the spicy Hawaiian in a wedge. And
Yeah.
it was exactly perfect temperature.
I did cheese.
Yep.
Classic.
But I gave you a little
Yeah, you gave me
little
a
bite of the wedge.
It
What'd you
was
think of
good.
that?
It was great.
So you went to a private school, right?
I did.
Yeah,
Well,
of
no,
course.
the reason I say this is there's certain communities where private schools, they're a little more prevalent. I think Atlanta's one of those towns.
You could say that.
Did y'all have square pizza at private?
Square pizza.
Yeah,
don't
there's
tell
your
me you don't know
answer.
what square pizza
I mean, that
is.
was an answer right there.
You don't know what cafeteria square pizza is?
No, they had
We
y'all ordered out.
well,
Or did y'all have a food court with like
no, we did.
had
it
a
was-
Godfather's in
The
there?
chef throws his hat down and walks out. Square pizza. I am not cooking square pizza for these kids.
We had a dining hall, and it was
Dining hall.
a company that like chefs that work for a larger.
I mean, I wasn't that far off, was I?
No.
Chefs.
No.
Did y'all have a champagne and a chocolate fountain too?
we, every once in a while we have chocolate fountains.
So you didn't have the lunchroom lady in the hairnet? Y'all had chefs?
We had chefs.
You
I mean,
did.
they were. I mean, I went to public elementary school,
Oh, okay.
but that was before.
Was there a meat carving station?
the,
No,
the red
not
light over
every
it.
time.
Not every, but there was.
For like special things every once in a while.
It's like a wedding.
I know.
By the way, our buddy Justin Hokinson, Auburn Live, not only
Wait.
reporting today that
What?
Auburn
Wait,
center
never mind.
Okay.
Dylan Cardwell has made it official. He is coming back, but he's also saying
That's
tomorrow could be a good day for Auburn when it comes to the guard position. You know, they got some vacancies there. Keep an eye on that tomorrow. Auburn Live and our friends at On3 Sports there. That developing with Justin Hokinson. So good that Cardwell's back. You expect Janai to be back, and according to Hoke and Auburn Live on 3 Sports, that some movement on the guard position expected tomorrow. So stay tuned to all his tweets and stories tonight for that.
Yeah, there's the, I believe it's Fagans. The Fagans kid out of Furman is the one everybody thinks has, or Pegues. I don't want to say Fagans. Pegues, JP Pegues, now that I know his last name. JP Pegues, and he's a Furman guard. And I think it was both 24/7 and on 3 Hoke site that flipped him to a hard Auburn commit. So that's the guy you want to keep an eye on is JP Pegues. So there you go. That's who he's talking about. Not to steal Hoke's thunder. That's not who. That's
Hoke, if you're watching, I was playing the game there. I was just
Well, I mean, his own website's reporting it.
Yeah,
I would think. But JP Pegues is the guy that a lot of people are keeping their eye on. All right, we're about to wrap up here from Odie's, but let's tell everybody what's going on this weekend at Odie's. They always blow it out on Masters Weekend.
Yeah, I wish they could see the
So cool.
the turf that's laid out there
Well,
right now.
I think little Tia sent out some shots, or she will send out some shots, so you can see exactly what we're talking about. But it's beautiful. We've got the putting green. We've got incredible grass. Got the azaleas. Not only at this location, the newest in Edgewood, but also the original in Crestline Village all weekend long. If you want to knock off work early, get the ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light and the Stella. You're going to absolutely love it. Great food. But stop into Odie's Tavern. Just a great place to be. I mean, this crowd is fantastic.
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
awesome.
yeah. Good
environment.
Thursday afternoon crowd.
Somebody on their first putt, it didn't have the speed down right on the putting surface. I saw it. It looked like a driver.
What,
The
he
very
hit-
first one was a
did he hit-
driver.
Did he hit somebody?
Yeah, this one came up short because the first one went 220 right down the middle.
Give us a thumbs up, please.
Oh, that one lipped
There we
out.
go.
If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and set your alerts so you always know when we're live. You can follow us on all social media at Next Round Live. At Next Round Live, we are live every day, 9 to noon. Coming up on the show, tomorrow is Malachi Moore. The Alabama defensive back will be with us around 10:45. Rockstar in the lounge tomorrow. So we got a lot coming up on the show tomorrow. You can catch it 9 to noon every single day. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good afternoon. Enjoy the Masters. Thank you for joining us from Odie's, Edgewood, and Homewood. Have a great night.